I maintain that the original spirit of why I fell in love with this music. That's like in my heart. I keep that fire burning.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Max, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. The last Cavalera I spoke to was one of your sons when it was all about the Go Ahead and Die record about a year and a half ago now. That was really fun too. Before we get to that, I want to ask you a real quick question. Maybe that's not a real quick question actually. You've been always very outspoken about everything that's going on in the world. I know that you've been living in the States for a long time, but seeing the turmoil going on in your home country, how much is that keeping you up at night? That must be, I don't think you want Brazil to be in the world news in the way it has been in the last few years. How is that for you?
Yeah, so I have family there. I have my mother lives there, a lot of friends, and yeah, man, it's just troubling to see all that. It sucks, The worst thing to me, because it's such a cool country with so much cool stuff, but it seems like we never get the right people in charge,
Right.
I play there a lot. There's a lot of fans there.
For sure.
And they love, they love what I represent for the country, what I did and do for Brazil outside. It was even when Pelé died. There was a bunch of fans posted one of the posts was a picture of me, Pelé, and Ayrton Senna, and it was like proud to be with those guys. It's like, holy shit, those are true fucking legends. But yeah, I go there every year. I hope I get to come back this year. I was there last year. We had some really good shows. It was really good audience, and we got to do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Now you say Pelé and Ayrton Senna, those are real legends. I know that you are not someone that proactively searches that status or that spotlight, but let's be real, a lot of people, myself included, will call you a legend as well. And whether or not you want it, you've been kind of bombarded to being this ambassador of Brazil for your entire career. The moment that Sepultura became known outside of Brazil, long time ago. Is that always a badge of pride, or is that sometimes like it's a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on my shoulders?
Mm-hmm. Yes and no, because I don't really see myself like that, because I just want to play metal, man. Yeah. I'm simple man. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. Give me a guitar, a microphone, and a crowd. I'm happy, man. I don't know. I don't have the thing like some musicians are like, oh, I gotta have a Grammy. I'm a guy, I gotta have. I don't have that. That's like, it's not important to me, like, at all. What's important is connection with the fans. I do have that, and that's great, and I want to continue that. But yeah, I mean, of course, I'm proud when I'm, especially South Americans, and a lot of like other countries in the world. I visit a lot of, they feel like third world countries, like Eastern Europe and Central America, even Siberia, Russia, where they really identify with Brazil because of the way we grew up, like poor and with a lot of difficulties, and they really connect. Because of that, they connect through my music and with me, you know, and I think that's really cool. And I, you know, of course, I'm proud of that. I think that's cool. But to me, it's like the coolest thing is always hear from a fan that my music had changed their life or had made them better or has helped them get through some, you know, like I say, at the end of the day, I just want to play metal. I don't care about anything else. I still a 17-year-old kid trapped in here somewhere, which is cool. I don't let that die. You know, I refuse to let that die, and I fight tooth and nail for that, man, to keep that spirit alive. That's why the corporate rock will not ruin me. You know, the politics of rock doesn't. They don't ruin me. I maintain that the original spirit of why I fell in love with this music, you know, that's like in my heart. I keep that fire burning. It's cool.
You'll do exactly what you want to do. You are about to head out on your American leg of the Totem Tour. You've done some shows already in other areas of the world. Cool stuff. The album came out a little bit ago. When I'm looking back at that album now, I don't know if you agree with that, but it feels to me as from some of the later Soulfly records, feels a little bit more thrashy, a little raw, a little bit more refreshed. It almost feels. And I was wondering, because I got this, like, I was wondering if the you know, an album that we mentioned earlier, the Go Ahead and Die album that you did as well with your son, which was stripped down and, you know, super raw, if you will. Working with your son like that, has that influenced your other projects or bands like Soulfly as well? How do you look back at that album now, if, you know, after you're allowing yourself maybe to be a little bit more removed from it since the release?
I really agree with that. I think definitely Go Ahead and Die influence the Soulfly vibe, just like tours can influence making the record. I think tours even influence Totem as well, because we were doing I was playing a lot of the older stuff like Beneath the Remains and Arise, and saw that the power of those songs and the connection they had with the crowd. And I don't know, this record was so unorthodox to create. It was like for like 6 months it was just me and Zion, like Dark Throne, you know. It was like Bozer, just two guys going at it, you know. And we made the skeleton of the record like that. And then we got Arthur involved, and I call him the wizard. He's the sound wizard. And it was so much fun working with him. I think it was the right record to make, you know. I wasn't trying to create anything new. That was not the intention of the album. It was not to reinvent the wheel or nothing like that. It was just, this is what I'm good at, so let's do this. You know, it was one of those as simple as that. Like, okay, what do I feel I'm really good at? Okay, I'm really good at this kind of aggressive metal, faster, full of energy, full of power. I even joke, I say, I think like the Beatles had a gift to make love songs. I have a gift to make angry songs. And you're either born with that gift or you're not, you know. And even though Soulfly is more positive, we still tackle a lot of angry subjects, you know. Totem was full of, there's a lot of stuff about culture and things like that I think it's you know, it was cool to, you know, stuff like Rotting Pain and Field Upon Field, Scarring the Vial about cancer, you know. that was cool. I think it was the right record to make. I'm excited already for the 13, the famous 13. I can't believe Soulfly just to reach that mark is already a miracle.
For sure.
We get to do the 13th record. But yeah, I'm gonna see what we do with that. You know, hopefully, get to do something cool with that. But yeah, a lot of cool things this year. This is 25 years of Soulfly 1. I think it's 30 years of Chaos AD. All these fucking birthdays, man.
So, I mean, like in a few years, it's 30 years Soulfly, and I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed to one day see a Soulfly show that is just all the Soulfly songs, Soulfly 1, 2, 3, all the way up to just all in one go, nothing else. That would be such a cool little special show.
Instrumental, like an instrumental show.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Like that could be fun. As like, you know, like I don't know. I know that is very unlikely to ever happen, but you know, celebrating 30 years of Soulfly, that could be pretty fun.
It's a cool idea, you know. I mean, a lot of people tell me about these songs. There was one of my favorite things I got to hear from a fan was actually, there was one fan where his brother was had cancer, and he was doing the cancer treatment and doing all the you know, all the stuff that you gotta go through, and the only thing he listened to was the instrumentals, the Soulfly instrumentals, and it really helped him get through fighting the cancer, you know. So I thought that was like really cool. Like really, when I'm writing those songs, I'm not thinking that's gonna go to that extent of reaching now people like that, you know, in those situations, you know. But it makes me super proud and happy that it does that. It's cool. It started as an accident. That's the coolest thing about those songs. It was a total accident on the first record. It was not planned. Was not even supposed to be there. It was like one of those things. We started jamming. It sounded cool. Let's keep going. And next thing you know, it's like, okay, we have. I gotta do something with this. So the idea was born to make all the Soulfly songs with a name and be the more melodic, trippy, almost like movie soundtrack side of Soulfly, you know. I never been asked to do a soundtrack, but I would love to do that one day. You know, that'll be really good to do something kind of like that for like a movie or something. We gotta hope there's a crazy enough director out there that who trusts in my abilities to make a soundtrack. But I like making those songs, man. They're fun. You know, it's cool. It's a whole different side, especially like when you get to experiment with different instruments. So we got saxophone. We have the duduk from Armenia. We had the violin. A lot of percussion, and the last one, Soulfly 12, was I thought was really cool because very rooted in 80s goth rock. I went full on goth, you know, like we always liked that stuff growing up, you know, like Cure and Mission, you know, Mother Army. Those are bands that we as metalheads we loved that. We loved that side of that wasn't metal, but we fell in love with it. Like Sisters of Mercy, you know. Right. I wear Sisters of Mercy shirts all the time back in the day. But that's cool, man. You know, like that's I went full on gothic rock on that track on Soulfly 12. But that was fun. That was really cool. Again, it was a bit out of my comfort zone, but sometimes that's cool. That's like, you got to be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to make things happen, to experiment, you know.
Do I have my list of like top 10 Soulfly songs that would be my go-to songs? Yeah, are many of them those instrumentals? Not necessarily, but they're always like that fun song that at least feels like you just kind of said like, hey, let's throw the rule book away. Like there's no limitations. We're just gonna try something that we want to do. And I think that always kind of resonated with people.
Yeah, what I never done is actually play any of them live. I have
Exactly,
never done
exactly.
that, you know.
Would be like a
So
cool unicorn.
I'm tempted to try.
There we go.
So I'm still tinkering with that idea. You know, make like you can we have this heavy ass set, but then in the middle you can have this little hippie jam. You know,
Exactly.
Like make a circle, or, you know, and just let the crowd chill for a little bit, and then go back to,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
the damage.
We saw from some previous shows in this tour already. You just played, I think it was 4 or 5 shows in Australia in December. We saw a very diverse set list. I think at those shows there were 2 songs from the new album put in there. The US fans, what can we expect to see you bring to the table?
So yeah, we're gonna add a couple more songs of Totem. I'm a big fan of side A of Totem. I think it's a cool side. You know, it's like one of the strongest. You know, like hopefully the people watching this, they even know what I'm talking about. Side A, they're probably what is he talking about? Sides. I'm talking about the vinyl, side A of the vinyl. You gotta have the vinyl, right? So if you grab the vinyl, you put on side A. I love the first 5 songs of Totem, and I hopefully the idea is to play the 5 of them together, you know.
Awesome.
And then I'm diving into some really deep cuts. You know, I'm finding a lot of deep cut tracks that we never really played before. Stuff like Touching the Void, Paranoia, Riot Starter. You know, never been played live. And Bleak. And it's cool. I mean, we have a really cool guitar player, Mike DeLeon, of course, from Phil Anselmo and the Illegals. He's a shredder. We can play everything with him. You know, we can. The book is open now. You know, we can tackle whatever we want. And of course, you got to play the hits. You know,
Of course.
you know, Eye for an Eye and Tribe and Prophecy and Primitive. But I think a combination of that, of the big songs, some new Totem stuff, and some underground cuts will make for a really cool set list. Because it's a long tour, 9 weeks. It shouldn't be called the longest tour of the year. You know? we should have named that the Forever Tour. This is There's 3 shows in Arizona. I never done that. You know, there's like 10 shows in California. It's fantastic, man. Fantastic. And a lot of very cool small venues. And I got asked that the other day, how do I feel about that? Somebody, you know, like me that been through everything, that play all the big festivals and all that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about going to those small ass venues? And my answer was, I absolutely fucking love it. I think that's when you really experience the metal. You can smell it.
Yeah.
You know, the piss and vinegar, the smells in the air. You know, they can literally touch you. Those are some of the best shows. Like, we call it punk shows. It's a bit like there's an element of danger. Like, somebody might get hurt, fall on your pedals, and you know. But that kind of makes it cool, makes it exciting.
Exactly.
And I love that. I think there's a bunch of those in this run, and I'm excited, really excited for that. And once again, we're taking underground bands on tour with us. You know, BODYBOX and SKINFLINT. Have Heard Voices. It's cool. I love to help the underground. I'm a big underground. Everybody that knows me knows that. support the underground. I love the underground metal scene, and I love the fact that we're still doing that. We're still taking, you know, like we did last year. We took 200 Step Wounds out, and it's great. It's great to do that, to mix with the audience, and a little bit of a newer audience can come and see us. And of course, a lot of the guys my age still come and enjoy it. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. I'm one of those kind of guys that still never lost the excitement to go on tour. I love it. You know, I'm actually like counting the days already. Like, come on, let's go already. You know, and it's funny. I go on tour. And when I come back from tour, I have like withdrawals that I still want to be on tour. Like when I'm home, like chilling at home, like, oh, I want to go back on the road. You know, what am I doing here? Type withdrawals, man. It's crazy, but it's fun. I'm excited for this tour for sure. I think it's gonna be great.
An exciting tour in cool venues that kind of, you know, mirror the vibe of the album really cool. There'll be trashy shows, there'll be raw shows, and there'll be very, very refreshed shows and a refreshed audience. Max, I wish I could ask you 15,000 more questions and have more time, but I also want to be very respectful of your time, because I know these are very busy days for you as you are getting ready to be on the road. But I do appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your schedule to answer my questions. I very much appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you on a stage very soon.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me, and happy Metal New Year.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it, and subscribe to the channel.